We have all had in our classrooms students that struggle with attention and staying focused, staying on task, impulse control, executive function. These students may or may not have a diagnosis of ADHD, but they struggle with the same things as students with a diagnosis of ADHD. So, how can we support these students? These students are probably some of those students that cause more of a drain on you as a teacher because they are so impulsive. It feels like you are constantly calling their name to redirect them, to help them make safe choices, to help them stay quiet, stay focused. And that can be exhausting for you and the child. And it's hard for them to hear their name constantly. So instead of reacting to them all the time, we want to think about ways we can be proactive with them and teach them strategies to use to help them control and self regulate themselves. It's really important when giving strategies for students, again, with either a diagnosis or not, but for students who struggle with attention, it's really important to give them many, many different strategies for their toolbox so that they can decide which strategy works best for them, because not all strategies will work for them or will work for them every time. So let's talk about these strategies today. The first strategies that you want to teach your students, and really all students can benefit from all of these strategies, not just students with the diagnosis of ADHD. But the first type of strategies you want to teach are calming strategies, how to calm yourself down. And I love five finger breathing. So with five finger breathing, it's a great visual because as you go up the finger, you breathe in and you go out as you go down. And so it forces you to take, because there's five fingers, five deep breaths. And that is probably the best breathing strategy that I have with my students, but I teach them other ones as well, such as flower breathing, so they can visualize the flower, or giving themselves a hawk hug. Maybe they just need a little squeeze, placing their hand on their heart and just, feeling their heart beat and taking a deep breath in, squeezing up and down with their shoulders. So just different ways of calming their body down. Students who struggle with attention, impulse control often need more than just a calming strategy. They need a way to get out that excess energy. And so you need to teach them appropriate movement breaks and how to ask for those movement breaks and when they can take those movement breaks. If you can, let students take a walk, even if it's something that they earn after a certain amount of time of work, or you do proactively, like every time before you come to the rug, go do a lap around the school. You'll get to know your students and what they need. But I would say don't wait to have it be like a reward for good, for acting out. You don't want to reward, if they start doing jumping jacks in the middle of the room, don't just say, okay, go take that walk. Like, no, the walk, the movement break, it should be a reward for what you want to see. So after doing the work, or set it up proactively so that every day at the same time in the schedule, they know they get this break. So again, they could do a walk around the school. You can show them where they could take the walk. You could have them send a message to another teacher, deliver something. They can do wall push-ups where they're pushing their hand against the wall. You can't see what you can see. And they're, doing a push-up into the wall. Chair push-up is also a great one they can do while they're sitting. So they hold the side of their chair and they push up and down. Jumping jacks, if you have a dice, you could have them roll the dice to see how many jumping jacks they should be doing. These are different great movement break strategies. If you have a trampoline or access to like a small little tiny little trampoline, that is a really good movement break for kids. So again, teach them what movement breaks they can take and when they can take them. And if you're explicit about it and proactive about it, these can be really great. Tie it in with that calming strategy so that after their movement break, when they're coming back into the classroom, before they sit down on the rug, before they sit down to do their work, have them do one of those calming strategies, a deep breath to help them calm down and regulate themselves again. Students who struggle with attention may have difficulty with either internal and or external distractions. So we need to give strategies for both. So for internal distractions, it's thoughts in our brain. So this is, when I'm trying to fall asleep at night and I just keep thinking about a million different things, those are internal distractions. So we can give strategies for kids who are struggling with internal distractions by giving a cognitive distractor, having them distract from those thoughts. And students with anxiety in particular have a hard time stopping those thoughts from just circulating in their brain. So a cognitive distractor will help them refocus their brain on one task. So that way they can move on and focus on the learning. Puzzles, word searches, mazes, crossword puzzles, I Spy books, find the difference, coloring pages. These are all fantastic ways to get kids to focus on one thing and let those thoughts stop, because it's just like a chain reaction with those thoughts, especially for kids with anxiety. External distractions are, I think, a little easier to help students solve and be distracted free from. Have a privacy shield, just a folder, or have them sit up against a wall where they're looking at the wall and at no one else. If they can't see what's going on behind them, huge help with the distractions. Give them headphones so that they can't hear what's happening on behind them. Give them a wiggle seat to help them wiggle around while they are working, or a bouncy band that you can see here, a fidget to hold on to. Use timers so that they can see how much time they have left. But really, if they're constantly distracted by the kids around them or what's going on outside in the hallway, move them so they're not with other kids, so that they're not looking around the room, so they're not looking facing out the hallway. And talk to them about it. Hey, I've noticed you've been having a really hard time getting your work done, and you're always looking around at the other kids. What do you think we can do about that? And usually just by asking them, they will say, can I move to a different table? Like, they know, even at a young age. So I would start the conversation by asking them what they need, and then have these tools at the ready so that you can offer ideas to them if needed. And it's not a punishment. It's not like, stop talking, go to your spot. No, it's, hey, we want to help you focus. You said moving away from other kids would help you. Give that a try now. Or you can come back to your group after you've done 5 minutes of work on your own. Things like that. So it's not a punishment, it's a tool, it's a strategy. I know for me, if something is distracting me out in the house where I'm trying to work, or if I'm trying to work in the, school, off hours in the morning and there's talking in the hallway, it's distracting me, I move, or I close the door, or I put headphones in. We all have these strategies. So it's not supposed to be a punishment. It's supposed to help them. If you want these free self-regulation strategies, you can get them from the blog below, and enjoy using these strategies with your students. I would highly recommend teaching them all of these deep breathing strategies so that they can choose the strategy that works best for them. It's really interesting talking to kids about these deep breathing strategies and which ones they like better and why, because they all choose different ones. So I love that about these, and they are free. If you are looking for more help with students who struggle with ADHD or just staying focused and having, self-regulation, I recommend you check out the Fantastic Focusers curriculum that I created. It is a curriculum, a small group curriculum, or you could use it with your whole class. I have, where you teach students each week a different strategy that they add to their COM controller, like a remote control, and they then can see a visual of all the strategies that they have learned with you, and it helps them remember what they can use when they need it in the moment. So it has great targeted, specific strategies for students who struggle with impulse control, self-regulation, staying focused. And with that, that's the end of our video. So we'll see you in the next video.